Welcome to the Security Guide podcast. Today, I am discussing money matters, how to earn and how to basically leverage your time to earn more income. So, guys, there are only really two ways to earn an income or make money out there. Let me break it down for you. Make sure that we understand that
To belong to a club or an organization. There is hope. Get a gun.
Make sure that you can say it. I think educated person will say, listen, you know what? You can either exchange your time for an income. That is, number one is if you are a security guard, if you are a teacher, if you are somebody that works at a store, that sort of thing. More, I would say, on the lower end scale. So you're basically exchanging your time for an hourly rate. And then also, as you can get a little bit more specific, somebody that is actually also a little bit more of a skilled person, that is self-employed, also exchanging his time for money, would be like a doctor, a lawyer, an accountant, somebody that has to clock in and clock out in an 8-hour shift. So basically, whenever he's working, he's getting paid. So that's the one way. It's exchanging time for money, for an income. The second way of earning an income, guys, it's the one where I think it's the biggest return and the biggest ROI. It's obviously, I call it, the best way I can say it's leverage. When you're leveraging either like a business, so basically what you're doing is you are coming together, a group of people, a set of people, solving problems, adding value to the marketplace and getting a return for that. And everyone in that sort of organization, in that piece of the business, they are actually part of the system where they are actually getting paid for the job, and then the system creates a profit. I always say, like, you are in the business of making a vending machine, you know, and the vending machine is just learning. Or I tell my son sometimes, you know, he says yeah, what's a business? No, it's just something, you know, how to actually make a machine to print money. So you have to find all the compartments and whatever. It's, in a nutshell, that's like an easy way of saying it, but it's actually adding value, solving problems. So when you solve problems in the marketplace, you will get a return. Whether it's solving a plumbing problem, like I listened to one podcast, like in Joburg, you know, the plumbing problem that's happening in these buildings and whatever. If somebody can solve that problem, you will get paid for that. So it's actually, you know, that would fall on entrepreneurship. And the other avenue is obviously investing. But before you can become an investor, you have to have you would have to have gained some set of skills or some sort of finance or some sort of money that you've saved over the years, either that you have where you can invest it and deploy it in property. Maybe you're going in the Airbnb market, or maybe you're going into the easy equities. You're buying some stocks, or you're buying some Bitcoin, anything. You know, that's basically what I would say, like investing. But before investing can happen, you would have to have the journey. It goes from employee, self-employed, business owned, and investor. So everybody starts on that journey, because in each one you learn a set of skills. So let me unpack the first thing about being employed. So you need to understand that the barrier of entry with somebody being employed, it's quite easy. So if I'm like a security officer, which, you know, this channel is all about, for me to enter the marketplace, like if I'm sitting at home, I have no job. I'm actually maybe from Eastern Cape. I came down to Cape Town. My mother's a nurse, and I'm sitting at home, and I phone my mother up in Eastern Cape. Mommy, I see I'm in the big city, and you know, you check up, you Google, and you see Wise Guy, and you see the scores. You check it out. Hey, you know what? It's a 3-week course. I can do it. So you do the course. You pay your X 2,000 rands or 3,000 rands. You wait your month. You find your job. Within a few months, you earning capacity. So now maybe your hourly rate is about 30 rand, because the amount of value that you're adding, there's a lot of it. So obviously, but it's an important value that you're adding. But you are exchanging your time, your hourly rate. So if you don't go to work, obviously there's that labor law that you'll get sick leave and whatever, but after your 12 days, they won't pay you anymore. It's unpaid leave. So you have to show up. So that, in the beginning, it's the way to start out, because we all start out. We have to exchange, because in that being employed, you then learn a set of skills. You then obviously starting to see whether maybe if you're in a different industry, you're working at a store, or you're working at a car lot, where you're becoming a car salesman, or you know, there's certain things. So you basically learn from somebody that's senior. So you're basically exchanging your time, and then you're basically getting a return. So that being said, also let's take it onto the self-employed also now. Somebody that is a doctor or a lawyer. I mean, if I look at the amount of time and energy that a lawyer or a doctor has to put in, I mean, and we were just doing some analysis, guys. So just you know, we did some research. So for you to become a lawyer here in South Africa, it takes you 6 years. So you have to study for 6 years, and 4 years, I think you have to do like maybe 2 years articles, and that will cost you around about 365 to 720,000 rand. And basically, yes, and your starting off salary can be anything from 15 to 25. And I mean, this is for, I mean, like almost 6 years 6 to 8 years. I'm speaking into correction, guys. I'm just giving you an analogy for why that attorneys and them can charge once they practicing on their own. When they charge you an hour, they charge you 2,000, 2,500, 1,000, 3,500 per hour for their time. Whereas maybe somebody of a low skill that paid like 2,000 and he's charging maybe 30 rand an hour. You will see the difference. The one took 6 years, 700,000 rand or R1 million investment, and his hours worth 2,000 rand or 3,000 rand, where somebody took 3 months and he paid, his investment was 2,500, his earning capacity is 30, 40 rand an hour. I'm talking about the baseline. You guys can see the difference, but it's all exchanging time for an income. And you must remember, the only limited resources that each one that's listening to this video, it's your time. It's the amount of time that you have on this world. We don't know how much hours we have left. So obviously everybody wants to maximize the amount that you get in, the return that you get in for the time that you are putting in. So if you're sitting at this level of the quadrant, or somebody that is employed or somebody that is self-employed, your whole objective is that, how can I move to the next thing? Remember, time and then leverage. How can you move to the next business own and investing? So I wanna draw the listeners to the mindset that, you know, I speak to a lot of people, and obviously I'm on the mindset of business entrepreneur, and I understand that that's very uncertainty. And I got some doctors, if anybody does listen, I know a few, one bone surgeon, and I know another, he's a vein surgeon from my area. So I do sit and chat with them sometimes. So generally, when you do have a lot of intelligence, your IQ is high, you got perseverance, you tend to want structure and certainty. which is nothing wrong in that. I think it's important. Everybody wants a certain amount of certainty, but you need to understand, if you are only doing stuff that is always certain about certain things, your earning capacity will be capped at some point. So you need to understand. So that's the mindset of somebody that he's following the system. He went to school, studied, did good grades. Parents, what you need to do? No, you need to be a doctor, lawyer, an accountant. You need to do something, study. That's the normal route. Study your 4 years and then go into some corporate, work your thing, do your retirement annuity, pay your stuff, and following the system. But you must remember, the system that you are getting into, you're getting into a system that are thinking on the other side, that are on the mindset of profit and leverage, because they're using your time, your energy to advance their cause. So understand that you are in this hamster wheel, that you just constantly. That's why sometimes people feel like, I feel so overwhelmed. And I speak to so much guys that are like so intelligent, and the stuff that they say, it's like amazing, but their risk tolerance for uncertainty, they just can't understand to go in the wild west of the uncertainty, because it does take a little bit of you have to be I call them ambitious, delusional people when you're starting out. Because the person on the other side is going to say, listen here, my friend, I got data to back up. What data do you have? You have no track record. You have nothing to show. The only thing you look like you a little bit, you must be egotistical to think that you're going to go on this journey and make it. So you're going to have the naysayers, the negativity and all that, it's the haters, it's part of the game, and most people just don't want that. They prefer the more structural part, and the more part that makes more sense, the part that has less uncertainty. But understand, guys, less uncertainty means less returns. You can't have it both ways, because then you're becoming delusional now, because you have signed up for somebody that is in the system, which has given you that certainty, that paycheck month in and month out, that has sold you on your dreams, but then you're complaining. So, so then I would say that you're becoming now a cynical person now, because you're moving away from reality now. Then that means you sold up. Because let's look at here. Some of the guys, if you're becoming a doctor, it says here that you are going to study, like let's just say a specialist, 13 years. Like a gynecologist, 13 years. Before you can actually charge that, that exorbitant fees. We all know that, when your wives go, when your wife says, you have to go to the gynecologist, and you see that they charge your arm and a leg. They're not shy anymore, 2,000, 3,000, and they want to see you for a few visits, this scan and that scan, but they put 13 years in, you understand? But still, they're still a slave to time, because they can be on Christmas Day sitting in maybe at Sun City. They're getting a call out, and that client needs to be there. They need to see because the baby doesn't wait for anybody. So you are pulled out on special occasions and whatever. You have to go see to that thing. It's a noble thing, whether it's a doctor. So understand, guys, we all choose how we want to go to the marketplace, add value and get a return, or get a salary, or that sort. So we have a choice. The why I'm making this video is because a lot of people, I'm 15 years now as a business owner, entrepreneur, and I understand that what it takes to start out with really not much skills, and to actually to make a little bit of a success of it. It is very lonely, and I do understand that not a lot of people want to go down that route. It's a lonely route, and it's not advisable. but there is a pathway that if you go the normal standard route, you have a stable income, you have certainty, but to a certain level, you are going to be capped on the amount that you can make. Unless you're specializing, obviously, then it's a different thing. Or unless you're an attorney and you're opening up a firm or you're making partners and things like that. But then you're moving into the entrepreneur business owner. So I can be a doctor. I know a doctor that he's a doctor. I mean, you would know he's got a small hospital in Kailicha, and he's an entrepreneur. I know some doctors that they practice and then they buy property and whatever. They're investors. So they're moving out of the rat race. So they obviously have moving on the thing where they're taking their money, they're investing it, and it's called leverage. Leverage is one of the best things that you can actually. I want you to start thinking about it. That leverage means that you are not using your time and energy to do that function. So if you have a receptionist and she's doing a certain function, you leverage that time on there. If you have a cleaner at home, that cleaner is she's leveraging your time to clean up the house while you doing what work you need to do. So now imagine you have teams of people that you can leverage on, and you're getting a margin on each one. What do you think? I mean, so it's a different mindset, guys. Number one is time for money, and number two is using your money, your skills, and systems to make money. So I feel that anybody to a degree can do it on both sides. I was just doing a statistic here now. It's I was doing the amount of I was looking at how many businesses was registered here in South Africa. So it does seem like a lot of people are choosing the second option of creating a business. So I see here the data that's showing, it's just showing in 2022, there was over 434,000 businesses that was registered. Oh, guys, that's a lot of businesses, right? So it's estimated in South Africa there's around 3.2 million businesses, plus minus, or about 4 million registered companies. So in the first year of opening up the business, they said between, let me just get this right here. They said 60% of the businesses fail in the first year. So 60% is knocked out. Then in the next 5 years, then what's left, 70 to 80% fails by the next 5 years. So that means in the first year, then the year 2, 3, 4, and 5, they fail. Then there's only like between 20 and 30% left after that 5 years. Now, to make it to the next, to make it to the 10-year mark, it's gruesome, guys. Because, I think that when you first starting out, you have this enthusiastic, maybe you are somebody that likes to cook and you open up a cooking shop, or you like sports and you open up a sports shop, and you whatever your passion was, you started it, you moved out, you're opening up a cleaning business, you started it, a car washing business, you started all these things. Now let's just say you the guy that made it, you made it now after the first 5 years. Wow, great stuff. But you would it will automatically change you. It will test you. It will question you. It will make you think that it will doubt you when you start an entrepreneurship. When you're starting you going into the unknown, because one thing is when you're self-employed, or you have a job, you're an employee. You only, how can I say, basically responsible for your outputs. even if you're a manager or a team leader, yes, you have some people under you, but at the end of the day, you still have to report to somebody that is paying you. And so you're managing a set of teams. It might be a little bit pressure. That's why your earning capacity is more, because you're obviously leveraging other people's time in the company. But I'm just talking about the entry level. So once you now moved over to the other side, you know, you were like a security guard, you moved over into manager. Now you basically now having your own business. So with you can use this for any template. You now would have realized who's your trusted people that you're with. Because you must remember, everybody, there's a saying that everybody claps for the underdog. Everybody loves the underdog story. But the moment they realize, hey, listen here, this guy's coming and he's coming. He's no longer, he's surpassing us. Nobody likes that. I mean, we all like people to, you know, feel sympathy for somebody that is in a weak position and whatever. We wish them good. But once that person grows up and they're actually coming up, they're not going to start getting fans anymore, and people are going to worry about them. They're going to start getting some serious resistance. And I can tell you now, one of your biggest resistance is going to come from your internal staff. If you are thinking that you're starting an organization, that the person on your left and the person on your right, if they're not, I'm talking about you are the sole director of the company and they employees, they work for you, paying them a salary. You must remember at the beginning, you probably don't even take a salary. They probably may be earning more than you. You're just trying to keep the lights on. You have to know during COVID, when COVID happens, boss, you know, I know there's no thing, but I want my salary. Yes, you as the director need to come up, and those that work through COVID will understand what it's like. People really got tested out in there. Those that looked after their staff in the COVID period, because I remember, I mean, I had staff. I had to make sure I paid everybody. But I'm moving off from the story. So what I'm getting at is like, let's just picture we start an organization. We got like 3 guys, or maybe like 2 other guys. Maybe it's your sister-in-law, or maybe your brother-in-law, or maybe it's your uncle or cousin or whatever. It doesn't matter. When you're starting out the business, you must remember the business is not making a lot of money, but you're paying them a salary. You're paying them whatever salary to do whatever you have to do. You at the back end has just been constantly thinking about this business, because you have heard this dream about your profits. It's so high. It's in this land of, you know, you're really gonna experience this thing of this untapped thing, because there's no end to how much margin you can make in a business, because it's just about how you can scale it. So you now on this journey with people that you feel you can trust and whatever. Now the business slowly, you've weathered the storm now. You went through the difficult times, but in the difficult times, you have to still make sure you're making payroll. Because at the end of the day is the moment you decide that you want to take the hat of a self-employed, I mean, as a business, now you are becoming an organization, an entity that everything in that entity, it's your responsibility. The human resources, the marketing, the accounts, SARS, everything, the legal, all the liabilities is with you. If they sue you, you the one that they come after. They will attach your thing, not your staff. The only thing that happens to your staff, they lose their jobs and then they put their CV and then they move on again. So that's what happens. So obviously, you need to understand there's a different risk and reward. So obviously, the amount of risk that the entrepreneur, the business owner is taking, he should obviously, once it pays off, the reward is obviously a lot more. And I feel that a lot of people, they don't understand that that dichotomy, that understanding that you are optimizing time for money. The director, the CEO is optimizing a set of business skills, leveraging that for a profit, for a return. So that is a different. So that's a different type of mindset. So the point that I want to get to you is that in the beginning, you obviously weren't making much. Also yourself as the director, the MD, the managing director, the founder. Maybe you might not have taken anything on, but you had to pay your people. But as time goes on, obviously your people, you raise them, you incentivize them, you give them car benefits and whatever. But you will see what will happen is that maybe I'm talking about what you're taking home initially, it will probably be less than what they may be earning. And sometimes it'll be on the level, and then sometimes it will just hockey stick like that. You understand? When it gets to that level there, that's when the whole conversation will change, because what will happen then is that your close people will then look at you and feel that, the entitled will kick in. They will not realize that listen here, that they are employees and they are here to do a certain function, and they have been, you have been good to them and whatever. They will not think like that. Resentment will kick in. Things of, trying to steal your IP and becoming your competitor will come in. That's part of the game, guys. Don't take it personally. It happens to the best. I know it happened to family members, myself, people that I know. It happens to everybody. So you can't expect that everybody's going to be happy and everybody's going to be advocating for for this organization's success. It doesn't happen like that. So you have to know that you are taking on this journey of risk, the risk management. You have to manage your finance, you have to manage your marketing, you have to manage your HR, you have to manage your legal. It's not only about sales and about the technical side of things, guys. That's the one thing that you would be, that's the first thing, because that's all you have to worry about when you're working for somebody. But when you're working for yourself, it's constant. So hence, I want to make you understand that once you feel that, wow, you know what, you always feel the stress that, I don't want to work for a boss, it's just like, I'm tired of taking his orders, and he just irritates me, and he's just somebody that he only thinks about himself, and you just keep on saying this, and you're calculating what the directors or the bosses are earning, but you have no clue of the other side of the stress that is happening. It's amazing. And then when I speak to some of the people that has taken the jump from employee to somebody that wants to now exchange his time for now return to add value and earn a profit, the amount of stress that they go through. I mean, the first thing they tell me, Rafee, I remember you were very strict on procedure and systems, because if you don't have a system, you don't have a business. Because you remember, I'm really talking to those guys that are scaling, because if we have one person working here, and you the owner, and you have one person working here, if anything is out of order, you know exactly who to talk to. Hey, listen here, that's not in order, it's easy. But you have 5 people there, and you don't have a system. Mr. Adams is going to say no, it's Mr. Davids. Mr. Davids is going to say it's Mr. whoever. Because you don't have a system. They will test everything, and rightly so. It's a sober experience, guys. Everybody goes through it. You have to go through it. It's a level that it's picture this. It just comes to mind that, I don't know why, you in any area, you now get a set of some stock, maybe some milli meal and something, and you in some location. You just build like one small little gate around it, and a small little hook there, and that's it. And you go there and you leave at night, and you expect nothing. You expect people now that your fence is it's so easy. Everybody can see. Everybody understands. If somebody jumps over and takes it, there's no cameras, there's nothing. What do you expect the people to do? If you think that they are not going to do anything, I think you are it's a very delusional thing. They are going to, I'm sorry to say, rape the situation. They are going to destroy the situation. So you have to have systems. You have to. So the way it would have been is build a boundary wall, put on the electrical fences, put on the beams that's putting on, have neighborhood watch sitting on there. Then you have, well, you can still have a sophisticated guy that can still come in there. There's still some guys who can pose at something and come in your house and, and then he can quickly steal. But that's happening even in the biggest organizations. These guys who will pose, no, they're helping. And why are they helping? They're stealing something in your house. You've done whatever, but I'm talking about your hook, line, and sinker. They're not going to get that. So that will be the first experience that you're going to get, your systems, that they're gonna ransack through that. Like somebody that's taking your money, they will steal from you, they'll run a different receipt book, or maybe they will if they a manager and they're handing contracts, they will create invoices on their banking details and they'll send it to the client and they'll cash in and they'll run a second. So guys, it must happen. That's the badge of the business. That's what it comes down to. So I would say, do you want to be a general and go to war and fight extreme battles, or do you want to work for a general and let him pay you the booty of the that's what it comes down to. So I can't answer it for you guys. I do understand that going the route of a business owner, the upscale is obviously once you make it to the other side, like you've reached your 10 years and your 15 years, you would have to there would be a level of success. I mean, we're looking at anything from 300 to per annum, or I'm talking about your net, meaning you're making now. I mean, you're making more than an average 1% of South Africa. If you know what is the 1% of South African earners, the last I saw it was like 290,000 rand. That is, that's gross, meaning before tax. So you probably eventually become in the 1%ers if you obviously continue the journey. I'm talking about of earners, somebody that is having a job. That's generally what the ceiling is. Maybe in government is a bit more, but that's what you're looking at. A business owner, you can obviously 10x that. But you understand what it takes. It's gonna challenge your gut inside, guys. So you have to think about it, guys. And that's why I say, like, rather do this when you're younger. Because I'm not saying that there's no hope if you're 40 and older, because it's just that you either gonna have to, your family's gonna have to understand that you're gonna go through the struggle, and they might not be able to downscale. That's why a lot of the people, I would say, guys, if you are starting out, don't buy dumb shit to impress people that you don't know. That's like the worst thing to do. Like, why the hell must you buy a cool watch to show another guy? That money you could have invested it in something that in 10 years' time, you can buy 10 of that. So, like, really, South Africans, like, I speak to a lot of people in the Ubers, and I engage them, and it's something why I'm sitting here and talking to you. I feel that it's I mean, whoever's getting this message, or whoever I can help or inspire, take it from somebody that has, I'm in my 40s now, so I'm running a business for 15 years. I don't talk too much, but I've been through a lot of stuff and different locations. Understand accounting, understand marketing, understand a lot of things. And I can tell you that where I started out, I didn't do business economics. I didn't know what was a sole prop. You know a sole prop when you put it on your name? I didn't know what was a PTY. So I started out knowing nothing. And my first encounter was an instructor came, he ran his own receipt book, knocked me for 20,000 Rand. Then I had guys that were, I got kicked in my teeth. Like I said, remember I gave you the example? You have your goods and sales with the low fencing. What do you expect is going to happen? What do you think everybody's ethical out there? You must remember, if you don't know who's the sucker, then you're the one in the room, guys. So I'm here to enlighten you guys. I'm here to the mistakes that I made, and I'm here to tell you that help others out there that's starting out. And you know what's strange? Sometimes I always see people and they when they speak to me, you know what, Rafee, like when you speak, you are not scared to share your knowledge. You will share exactly, like if somebody wants to sit with me, I will share you exactly what I'm doing. Most people want to keep what they knowledge, what they know. I feel that is a very small way of thinking. I think that as people that I think if I light your candle and it will light up many candles, I don't think by me lighting another person's candle will diminish my one. I think in the contrary, I think it will grow even more. And I was having a conversation with with one of these guys. I won't mention his name. If he does listen to this podcast, you know who he is. And I know he's a very private guy. So he's still one of our agents. So he phoned me up and he wants to now do CPO with us and everything. And then he's So I'm trying to, like, sometimes I like to reach out to people that I've been dealing with for the last 8 to 10 years and whatever. And, so I still remember, I say, you know what, brother, remember when I met you? You were with a guy that sold you certificates that wasn't legit. And then you contacted me and you paid like triple the amount of money. And then I told you that, hey, listen, I know you spent about, I think I can't remember, like 7 or 10 grand on the job, and then you had to pay me again. And you weren't sure about me, and I wasn't that big, and I wasn't that well known and whatever. And then you said because when I speak, I like to speak in the marketplace. Like if I say I'm going to deliver on your grades, I make sure I do it. And if I can't do it, I will tell you. I'll phone you up, Mister. I said I was going to deliver, but I can't do it on this date. Can we? So I like to keep my name, and I think that's very important. Your name it's so important. So. But getting back to the story, so I told him, remember, I delivered on you. And I just told him, all I've been doing, and I think this is the crux of what I want to tell you, is just deliver on your promises. And I think I had this in 2018 or 2017, I was chatting to him. So if you deliver on your promises, and even if you mess up, guys, if you mess up, just phone the guy and understand, hey, listen here, you know what? Nigel, I can't deliver on this promise. You know what? Can you give me some time? That's all people want to know. You understand their problems. That's all what it's about. And you just keep doing that. Your concern is their concern. You will be unstoppable, guys. Nobody will stop you. But the moment you come and you talk so smooth here, and you can you can deliver and whatever, when the time comes, excuse, and you think you are clever. You got his money, you got his thing, but you must remember you disappointed him. He's not going to come back to you, and he's going to tell 10 people other not to come back to you. And then you're wondering why. Hey, you know what? I thought I was so clever. I mean, you know what? I had such an idea, but so I think when it comes down to business, the business sense of it, yes, skill is important, but the type of person you are, your character, or your principle-driven person, do you worry about other people growing and whatever? Do you worry about you're not giving? So if you have this the recipe of that, I guarantee you, anybody that follows that, you follow up. I think go on ChatGTP, open up how to make a business, do your research, and you follow up, and you carry on, and you're doing the right thing. You'll be unstoppable, my man. You'll be in the 1%er. You'll be sitting here maybe in 5 years' time. If you heard this video, you'll be saying, yes, so I am giving you permission today, guys. I'm giving you permission to believe in yourself. That just take that leap of faith. We all sit and sometimes doubt ourselves. Can I? Can't I? The only way out of that, like I know what worked for me was taking action, even when I didn't feel like it. That is and then slowly you just have a lot of belief. I mean, it's like you're in a dark room, guys. You're just sitting in a dark room, and you know that you don't feel right inside, and you have your family depending on you. You have everybody. You don't have a pathway because remember you didn't choose the certainty way. Were you changing your time for money? Remember, that's the certainty way because you have a contract. You're not going the uncertainty way. You're going in a dark room and you need to dig yourself out in there. So I'm here to shed light on my experiences that you can do it. It's all up here. It's a mental game. And that's like my final, my segment of it. It's purely mindset. It's how much you want to wake up, tell yourself a story. That's what I'm saying, because you have to be a little slightly delusional to believe in something that is not there. And you have to be arrogant enough to know that you're going to go to the marketplace and you're going to go and you're going to compete. So like you can say, listen, I'm going to open up a training center and I'm going to compete with YSK. No problem. You need to, obviously, it's nothing wrong, but you need to have that grit, that desire. And I think that a lot of people, they're insincere, man. What they're doing is they're either selling you a lot of things that they don't believe in because they want to upfront you, they want to get their money, they want to make an easy buck out of you. And you can feel it, you can just sense the energy. And there's another story that a lesson that I want to make is that, like me, like it's I always say you can exploit somebody's ignorance for like 5 to 6 months. But the moment they realize that you gave them the wrong advice and to benefit you, they will not come back to you. It's like if you sold them something that they didn't need. Like let's just say if I know somebody's going to be only a C grade guy, and I tell him, brother, you need to do A grade and you need to do CIT because you need all this and whatever, and you need to do the firearm training. Then I sell him for 10 grand where he only needed the 1850. I basically exploited his ignorance. Because for me, I thought, hey, here's another sucker, and I can outsmart him. And there's a lot of guys like that, whether it's in the car sales business and whatever. You guys think you're so clevers, right? You think you can outsmart everybody. You made a good sale and whatever. You won't sustain that for 10 years, guys. You're not going to be a decade doing that. Name me one guy that has been conning people for a decade that's still around. Maybe I'd like to meet him. Because you have a short lifespan. So I know I went on a bit of a rant and I went all over, but it's really coming from a good place, guys. I like really, if my message can help somebody, maybe start a business or maybe want to invest in themselves and, want to better themselves, I think South Africa will be a lot better place. I mean, you see what's happening in government, how they're stealing over there, and people are just wanting easy ways, man. But I feel that everybody, whether you're self-employed or working for somebody, can open up their own business. You can register an entity. It costs you under 300, 500 rand. Register your thing, open up your company, a business account, have your things ready. Whether you want to open up a take-clothing side hustle, you can do that. There's so much courses to do on that. Whether you want to do your car washing on the thing, or whether you want to do your cooking, or whether you want to do a handyman, there's always ways to optimize. Get out of your head, guys, please. Your head is not, it's fantasy. This is reality, what's around us, what you can see. what you can do, can you interact? Here's a phone, you're meeting people, speak to people, hear their problems, and then you can solve it. Don't sit there and complain, guys, and feel sorry for yourselves because you know what, life didn't go your way. I mean, come on, man. You know what? Let's just grow a bit of strength and a bit of determination. We need more of that in this country, man. So my message to you guys is, you know what? I'll end off the shows. Obviously, we started off on how to optimize your time. Is it either changing time for money, or you leveraging your time for business and investment? So I hope I help one or two of you unlock something in your minds or in your hearts, and hopefully, if this has inspired you, please write something in the message. And if there's something else you want to discuss about, I think I'm going to make a video a little bit more going detail about understanding the business side of things. You understand, what does it really take to run a business? Because I think it took me a long time, financial management, because I didn't study in school. I promise you, it took me a long time to understand top line revenue. What is gross margin? What is net margin? What is a profitability chart? What is a cash flow statement? I know it looks all fancy, and what is a P&L? What is a balance sheet? Liabilities and equities. You know what I'm saying? It took me a long time. But that is the language of business. If you were watching test match and you don't know why they're having a second innings, if the guys are bowled out, why they're coming back in, but you saw the other guys score, you confused, you don't know, hey, listen here, what's going on? The guys are batting again, but it's 5 days, but they're out. I don't understand. You just think they must just score 6 runs, and why is this people blocking? You don't understand the language of the test. So you're confused. You're just going in, hitting 6 runs, and you think you're cool. Oh, now winning the game, but then you didn't know there's a second innings. Oh, okay. Same like financial literacy. So it's very important, guys. If you are inspired to start a business, security business, or any other business, a tourism business, or anything, as you can see, there's so many that's over here, 400,000 that. So I just want to give some perspective to South Africans, so somebody that has done it, that is doing it, that lives by it. I will be teaching all my kids, my family, whoever comes with me, is entrepreneurship. My family, as in, South African, Indian, we only eat, sleep, dream business. You understand? That's our thing. We like business, and that's what we do. We love profits. So, and I think it's if you're adding value to the country, you deserve a profit. You are creating jobs. You are taking the burden of government, and you're adding value. So you are deserving of a high profit and a good life, guys. But anyways, guys, I hope you like and subscribe. Please share the episode with somebody that is looking or thinking of, wanting to quit their job and whatever. Keep things in perspective. And till we meet again, this is a security guy. Take care, guys.